Good morning. Wanted to talk a little bit about addictions, and I'm gonna use a anecdote of someone in my family, to better, pass this, concept idea because it, in a certain way, also happened with me. So I think it's, it can be valuable. So my uncle is an alcoholic. He's always been alcoholic since I remember. My father says he's been alcoholic since before he was 10. You know, he was a child and he would sneak into the wine, cellar, and he would drink. Why did he do it? Well, all his brothers did it actually, but he took it, to the extreme. It was hard times, you see. Alcohol is a stimulant, although almost all almost all stimulants are poison. You know. For instance, my father says when he was single before getting married, he would work and to to have a boost, they would tip the bread in l'eau de vie, or in Russia is called vodka, or in Portugal is called vagasse. It's a very potent alcohol, from the distillation of fruit. In our case, is grapes. We are able to get to this very potent alcohol out of it, and then he said they used to dip bread in it and eat it as a breakfast. That would give them a boost to work. I mean, those were the times. People nowadays can't even wrap their heads around these things, around these concepts. They lack a little bit of empathy, and I'm also a strong believer. If you really want to know something, you have to experience it. So, for instance, someone who works as a doctor, specialized in bones, I wouldn't trust him until he breaks something. Then he will understand what he's talking about. That can be extreme, but I'm a believer in that. If you truly want to know something, you have to experience it, because these people are all about, these experts are all about theory, and they have no clue. There's no basis in reality anymore. It's just their, imagination running wild. So going back to the subject, my uncle is alcoholic, and he's in his 60s, and he already had a couple of problems with the heart. Well, not really the heart. Is the veins that get clogged, because of the alcohol. So the heart starts pumping more than usual because of that, and the last time 2 years ago he had an open heart surgery and they fix the pipes with some plastic tubes, and everything. And what caused this heart, explosion was a vein that literally dried up in one of his legs. So they had to pull that vein, out, and you almost can't feel that part of the leg anymore because the vein is not flowing as it should. But anyway, that was 2 years ago, and he spent, I would say, these 2 years in recovery. But I noticed, lately that he wanted to start again consuming alcohol, even after all these issues. And I was thinking to myself, why doesn't he just quit? He spent 2 years away from it, and now he's hoping to, which he did. Now he's drinking again. No, so what is the motive? What is the motivation? Personally, I quit smoking some 10 years ago, and my experience was successful because I was isolated from anyone who smoked. You see, it wasn't on purpose actually, but there was none around me that smoked. and I didn't, go to places in which, people smoked as well. So if you want to avoid, get or even you can apply this even to a toxic relationship. No contact ever again, meaning that with that person or people who remind you of that person. And in my case, no contact ever again with tobacco or people who smoke. Yes. Fast forward some years, actually, when I passed or crossed someone who was smoking, it actually made me sick. Made me sick. Yeah. It's almost like I gained immunity, and this it displeased me a lot because my body was actually in recovery. You need years to recover from, the usage of these stimulants. Years. And I think you will notice if you are in the right track when it actually pushes you away. It's repulsive when the substance I used to take becomes repulsive to you. In the case of my uncle, no, everybody around him kept drinking. And I noticed when family got together, because wine is part of this culture, it's part of all cultures around the world, everybody drinks wine. And I noticed my uncle was like, what's the expression? Craving. He was, he would smell it, and he used to joke about it. Just the smell is enough to satisfy me. But you see, he wasn't isolated. He didn't segregate himself from from the drink. It's always part of the culture, and people around him drinks, especially his wife drinks. So it for him it was more difficult, and he wasn't able to overcome his addiction. Now he's back at it again. Um, it's a slippery slope. It starts with smelling it and then dipping your tongue in it. Next time you know you're drinking a glass. Tomorrow it's two. It's a slippery slope. He's the type who used to drink, liters a day. So yeah, it was really serious. Well, now he's back at it again, and it's very sad to me. Last time I saw him, I noticed his attitude completely changed, like his personality changed, and I was like, okay, he's already again possessed by the god of wine, Bacchus. Their personality changes. It's almost like they are possessed by a spirit. Their personality changes or was replaced, and I mean, our ancestors, pagan ancestors, used to say that it was the spirit of Bacchus, for instance, or what's the other one? Dionysius, or what's the other one? Dionysius, Bacchus. I think it's Dionysius that actually is more, precise description of this. Dionysius is all about the wine and the production of wine and the consumption of wine, and I think it's Dionysius. I might be mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'll correct myself in the comments. So yeah, if you want to get rid of a toxic relationship, no contact ever again. If you want to get rid of tobacco or alcohol, no contact ever again. If you have friends who drink or smoke, you have to, no contact ever again. I'm sorry, because it's through these social interactions. It is the ritual. You see, we humans, we are all about rituals. It's the rituals and ceremonies. Sitting, listening to some music or talking to someone and drink or smoke. That the process is what gets you there. It's the ritual. If you want to quit, these substances, you have to quit the ritual altogether. And this, you have to, segregate yourself from people who consume these substances. It's the hard. Absolutely, it's hard. But if you want to get rid of it, that's the only way. For instance, this also, go for diet. If you're sick, for instance, with insulin resistance, that the continuation of insulin resistance becomes diabetes. If you want to get rid of it, you have to change your diet. Meaning you're gonna have to segregate from also eating with everybody else, because everybody else is eating food that will influence your insulin. Everybody else is. If you want really to get rid of it, you have to segregate yourself. Meaning you have to eat alone for the rest of your life. And that is very difficult because eating is one of the most important rituals that binds humans together. It's the most important ritual. If you want to see a happy family, is a family that is eating a meal, talking or in silence with no TVs, no cell phones, nothing. They're just eating. When you want to see a dysfunctional family is when the TV is on or the children are looking at the tablet or looking at the cell phone, the smartphone. That's a dysfunctional family. So, yeah, I hope this helps. I hope this helps. So have a nice day and tell me what you guys think.